When I was little, my dad and my mom got divorced. Growing up, my parents were not good parents to me. I was in and out of church with my dad. We didn't go religiously every Sunday. My dad just didn't have much to do with me growing up. So I started living with my mom, and my mom, she's been through 7 back surgeries. And through those back surgeries, she's got addicted to pain pills. My brother had just left, so I felt like he had abandoned me and just left me there to take care of my mom, to watch her go through this. And I remember freshman or sophomore year, I missed 52 days of school, just taking care of her, making sure, she wasn't gonna hurt herself, because there was one day I came home from school and she was sitting on the couch with a butcher knife in her hand, and she was just sleeping. She would try to get in the car and drive with me, being on the pain pills, and she would take money from me. Just take money from me. It took me a very long time to forgive her for that. I've just had to grow up quickly and learn how to take care of myself and know what to do, I couldn't relate with anybody in high school, and nobody knew what I was going through. I just seen everybody else going to football games, the basketball games. They were out partying, drinking, smoking, and then there was me. I had to get to work, and I had to support myself and pay for things that I needed. And while my mom was at home and just asking me for money anytime I would get paid to help, whether it was for bills or the pills that she needed. And then it was my junior year. I met a guy and we dated for about 2 months, and I found out I was pregnant. And after I had told him I was pregnant, he just didn't want anything to do with the pregnancy, didn't want anything to do with me. And after that, I just kind of never heard back from him. And then there I was 17 years old, I was pregnant, I was working, I was doing everything on my own. It was very hard. I know that I had to be strong, not only for me, but for this pregnancy, this child that I was about to bring into this world. I knew I had to provide for this baby, and especially because I was doing it on my own, I refused to ask my family for help. I remember one day I was in the car heading to work, and I was pregnant, and all these thoughts just came to my mind. What am I gonna tell my son when he asks for his father, where his dad is? And that just broke me. It was so heartbreaking to even think about it, because growing up, my parents were divorced, and I always wanted my child, to grow up with both parents in the same household. That was something I did not get to experience myself. Then the day comes where we're headed to the hospital, and it's snowing. It was cold. So we got there around 4 o'clock in the morning. I had worked so hard to get where I was at. I knew I had provided for this baby. He had everything he needed. I was just ready for him to be here. And when I met my son for the first time, it was like, wow. Like, I really just had this baby, and this is my baby. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I am a mom. Like, I have a son. And he weighed 7 pounds, 6 ounces, and he was born at 2:15 p.m. I ended up naming him Camden Liam. It was a name that I always liked. When I got home with Camden, I still felt alone because it was just me. I didn't have his dad there with me. It was very lonely and very emotional. I just felt like I was this alone, single mom. Didn't know if I was doing the right thing, the wrong thing. I was always questioning myself. Is what I'm doing right for my son? Is what I'm doing right for us? A couple months after having Cam is whenever I found myself in another relationship, and we were together almost a year when I found out that I was pregnant again. I did not know what to do. I was definitely not going to tell anybody. I definitely did not want to tell anybody. I did tell the person that I was with, and because that person was in school at the time and had a baseball career going for him, he did not want the baby. Told me that it may mess up his career, his baseball career. And that's when he brought up that we should have an abortion. And that was something, an abortion was something I've always been against. I don't really agree with it, terminating a baby. But at the same time, I didn't think that I could do it. I already had my one son, and just finding out I was pregnant again, I was lost at this time. I did not know what to do, and I knew I had to do something, whether it was to make up my mind to have this abortion or to have this baby. I knew I had to make up my mind. And that is when I made one of the hardest decisions in my life, was to have this abortion, to go through with it. I didn't even know where to go, what to do. I literally looked it up. And once again, I found myself going through something so hard by myself. Went through this abortion by myself. Nobody knew that I was pregnant besides the person that I was with at the time. And the reason I didn't tell anybody was because I felt so ashamed of myself. I felt guilty. I felt embarrassed. I did not want anybody to know. After having my abortion, I did end up telling one of my family members. She invited me to stay the night, and I did because I just wanted a safe place. I needed to rest because after what had happened, there was so much going through my mind. That night, Cam and I were sleeping in the bed together when my family member's boyfriend came in and sexually assaulted me. And things eventually went too far, and that's whenever I grabbed Cam and I hurried up out of the house. And on my way home, I was just asking myself, like, why is this all happening to me? I have just had enough doing things on my own, and I knew that I needed help. I knew I needed to reach out. And I remember one day that I was in my room when my son was taking a nap. And I remember turning on a worship song and getting down on my knees and just talking and praying to God that He would help me, just free me from all the pain, from all the hurt, everything that I was going through. Just take all of this away from me. I don't want this pain anymore. I don't want to go through this hurt anymore. I don't want to keep going through this cycle. Just telling Him, I want to be yours. I want to be yours, Lord. Use me, Lord. Guide me. And the presence of God just overwhelmed me, and I felt so much joy. I felt peace, and I knew right then and there that God was and always is and always will be the answer to all of my problems. After experiencing the presence of God, I never had my own actual Bible. And I got on Amazon and I typed in Holy Bible because every time I went to church, off and on with my dad, that's what I would see on the Bible was Holy Bible. And so I got on Amazon and I typed in Holy Bible, and this blue Bible popped up, and it had like white vines on it. And I was like, I want this Bible. I want to get to know God better. I want to get to know His ways and what He has and wants for me in my life. So I order this Bible, and then I go to the store and I buy highlighters. And I'm just waiting and waiting for my Bible to come in. And the day that it comes in, I go to the very back of this Bible, and it has every day to go read scripture. And every day I go to the back of the Bible and I read that scripture. I read the scripture that it told me to read every day. And through reading scripture, God was speaking to me. God knew what I was going through. I experienced the presence of God. I started reading the Bible, and I knew there was something missing, and I needed community. I knew I wanted to be in a church. I started looking for a church, and when I went to Church on Fire in Harrison, I heard that they were launching a young adult ministry, which I was very interested in. I knew I wanted to surround myself with people that also had a relationship with God, so not only that they could learn from me, but I could learn from them too. And so I went to the very first young adult launch, and after that young adult launch, I knew that that's where I belonged. I knew that Church on Fire in Harrison was where I belonged. I knew I wanted to go all in with my relationship with God, and I ended up messaging Pastor Juan on Instagram about baptism, and that's whenever I registered. I went online to sign up for baptism. I got baptized on November 24th, and it was amazing. I felt like a whole new person. I felt renewed. I felt restored. I knew that the old me, my past, was gone, and I came up out of the water as a new person. If you are lost like I was, And if you are alone, and if you don't know Jesus, I strongly encourage you, read His Word, find community. God has big plans for you. He is the answer to all of your problems. He is the way.